My name's Trung. I was in Silicon Valley for 17 years before being asked to come to DC to work for DARPA on AI projects. And during my time in Silicon Valley, we did a bunch of outsourcing to India, and I really understand kind of like the outsourcing model, how to work with outsourcing teams. And so when we were building Amplio, the question of how much do we hire in the US versus how much we hire overseas came up, and it's a model I'm very familiar with. And so what we do at Amplio is that we build AI digital twins that allow us to understand whether or not someone's going through burnout. So it takes data from wearables, as well as psychometric and cognitive tests that we have kind of customized for the purpose, and kind of does it on a continuous basis where it actually understands how you feel, how you think, and how, whether or not you're physically healthy. And we're very, very happy with the outsourcing model that allows us to get to where we are today. Well, it's really important. I mean, when I have so much experience with teams in India, really it goes just beyond just the resume in regards to the skill sets. It's just really kind of creative thinking and the ability to kind of adapt if things go wrong. One of the things that I always tell people is that I don't want to be captain of the Titanic. I don't want to be going towards that iceberg and no one's telling me there's an iceberg there. I want someone to tell me there's an iceberg there and come up with ways to kind of get around that. So first of all, obviously you have the right skills. And secondly, when we interviewed you guys, is how you approach the problem. Some people would be like the crew that lets me hit the iceberg, where they're waiting for me to have all the answers. And I'm okay smart, but I'm not that smart. And so from the standpoint, if it's a team environment where everyone's kind of concerned whether or not we sink or swim, then maybe someone will speak up and say, I have a better idea than hitting the iceberg. And that's kind of what we were looking for, is not only to have the right skill set, could they build a team that could build apps for us, that could build things in the cloud and do the cloud infrastructure, but how they actually approach problems, how they actually think about it, and are they willing to take the lead or make suggestions, or are they just there waiting for instruction? And that's kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for someone who could kind of really approach the problem and try to solve it, as opposed to waiting and work collaboratively with us, as opposed to waiting for an answer, right? And so that was super important to me, and that's what made teams successful in the past for me. That's what I was looking for this time around as well. Now, infrastructure is a key component of our engineering team. A lot of the algorithmic work and the machine learning work we kind of do on our own, but a lot of the nuts and bolts and the actual delivery of a product, we depend on infrastructure to do. I mean, it's great to have an algorithm in the cloud, but eventually you need somebody to deliver that algorithm in an app in a way that people can interact with it and actually be able to use it. And so infrastructure has been a big part of us actually kind of coming up with our product strategy and kind of building our prototype. So that really helped us take the idea from a mathematical construction to something people can actually play with their hands, and that's all because InfoStretch was willing to kind of help us work on that product and the product concept together. Well, the first thing, I like the way InfoStretch is actually structured. You have a tech lead. Ours is Mihir Mehta. He's a great technical lead, very creative, very smart, thinks through problems. Then you have a programmatic lead that makes sure that all the boxes are checked. And they run the team jointly together. So you have one person trying to make sure the schedule's there, and then one person kind of helping the other engineers kind of think through the problem and iterate through it. And that's been a huge help, because now we have a partner for the business side, me, and then my partner, my co-founder Grant, who's on the technical side, and we can approach the problem as a cross-functional team. And I think that's one of the things, is that you guys are already structured to kind of help with that cross-functional teaming concept. The second thing is, like I said earlier before, being we discuss problems, we have questions, and it's not like we spend a good part of the week, about 3 meetings during the week, just going over what we actually are planning to do. And what I mean by that is not saying, hey, this is what I want you to do, go follow it. It's more like, this is the general concept we want to do, this is what we think the steps are. InfoStretch, what do you think the steps are, and how much time you think it would take? And having a really good, honest conversation about timing, about the technology challenges and the risk involved is really critical to kind of what help us be successful and meet the milestones we're looking at. Because we had to deliver on a $2.1 million contract for the DoD, and InfoStretch was a huge part of that. Again, prioritizing and getting something that we can actually deliver to the customer. And so, having a cross-functional team that's understands and looks at it from a product standpoint was super helpful in regards to delivering. I think, it really is the people. The quality of people in InfoStretch is a step above what I'm used to in outsourcing. I mean, here, Meta, for example, he's been our tech lead since the beginning. And he's actually someone that, I developed a strong bond with in regards to trusting his advice, trusting what he says. And, you do that, you gain that trust by being there, working, weekends with us, trying to make things happen. And it's amazing that, again, a company that outsources a lot, that a job shop generally doesn't care about relationships, right? I think the best thing about InfoStretch, again, is their people, and their people actually actively caring about the project and what we're trying to do, and spending the time and effort to get to know us and get to know what we're trying to do, and then B, being there when we need them, right? When they don't have to be. And I think that just talks to the great customer service mentality InfoStretch has, as well as the quality of the people they have. Partner, I think, a lot of other like outsourcing firms or job shops, they're about the number of hours they can generate, and they're pushing hours all the time. And a partner has to be someone that is equally committed to the problem or the thing you're trying to do as you are, right? You don't want someone that's not as committed, because then you can't rely on them. And I think InfoStretch has been someone I can rely on, someone I can turn to when I have problems, and really be there for me. And that's why I think of them as a partner.